Subscribe to No Cap Podcast.
Honey, fuck with niggas, my circle small, that bit decrease. Honey, fuck with the rappers, tell you the truth, they ain't fucking with me. We walk down on niggas, but blood on walls, fuck them leave. We walk down on niggas, but boot on face like Booker T. Baby, I'm so exhausted, feel like I don't get no sleep. Baby, I'm so exhausted, I can't run. Baby, you know the cruise on.
Welcome to the No Cap All Facts podcast. We keep it real, and I'm your host Zion.
And I'm your co-host Josh, and we keeping it real with everything from sports, culture, life, all of that.
And man, we got one of the ones in the building, man. We got someone that's born and raised from here. We got a songwriter, producer, you know, one of the ones that got a movement really going on in the state right now, man. We got Myles, man. How you feeling, man? How you feeling?
Man. Feeling good. I'm feeling good. Good to be here. Some good people from my city. They're showing love to the state. They got me set up real official right here. We have Folklore Stage, Folklore Music Exchange.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of going around the city. It's a lot of love here, so I'm good. I'm happy to be here. Good to be here.
One of the hidden gems in the city, bro.
Definitely.
You know,
Yeah.
Definitely.
I don't know if
Jim.
everybody is hip as they need to be to you, but you know, that's what we doing.
Fire.
Nah, for sure. But like you said, you're born and raised from here, but I see that you're out there in LA now.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? What are the biggest pros and cons of being from a small state and then going to one of the second biggest, you know, cities, you know, in the nation, right? You know, in the nation.
Good question. I'm glad to answer this. Look, a pro from being from a small city and going to a big state, at least from here, and what I tell people all the time is I really actually think we got an advantage, like being from here.
Okay.
Because here, we can do a lot with a little. So imagine what happens when you get around some real resources and you get around some of that stuff. As long as you don't let it overwhelm you, which it can be, there's going to be an adjustment period because it's like, okay, it's a lot going on. What's the deal? But when you can do a lot with a little and you can adapt and, you know, just kind of basically make something out of nothing, when you get around it, it makes it a lot easier. So for me, when I went to LA, because I grew up just making beats in the crib, like just messing around, like, you know, I never really thought, because there's no, you can't just walk around and say, hey, I want to be a producer if there's no music industry or, you know, path, I guess, to do that.
Lane for it,
so it's like, okay, I'm doing this for fun, but like I still went to school and like did my whole thing. And like I still to this day, I'm still involved in all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to just do music. But I was like, all right, when I got to LA, I noticed that nobody was doing anything different as far as like what I was doing in my bedroom or like the skills that I had as far as making beats. Even when, you know, you look at the local music talent here, like the live artists that are here, the people who can play keys and play guitar here, like the talent is there, like it's all the same. So I think that's it for me. Like that's some of the pros. I think the cons, man, it's expensive, but I guess that's a con, but it's also like, I mean, you know, you pay for what you get in a way. And it does teach you a lot about life. It teaches you about finances. It teaches you how to, you know, because California is like one of the biggest economies in the world.
Yeah.
So
Second biggest city right behind New York.
So like it was cool to kind of see all of the like you can really spin up, you know, a business or different type of things, and like it's almost encouraged in a way. So, you know, as much as the expenses can be a con, it's also a pro because it's like, well, you just got to kind of get to it and you can kind of figure it out. So, you know, and then the other con is it's just far from home. Like I be talking to people all the time, like if you're gonna move, you just gotta accept it.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta accept that you're gonna be gone.
Nah, fact, yeah, because you across the map.
Yeah,
you're across the map, man.
And not to backtrack, what, you know, I always, like I said, this is so they can get to know who you are.
Yeah.
We give them a little bit background and what you do. We got the numbers, but I just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so, I mean, back, what you mean, as far as like...
You came up in South Charleston.
Yeah.
Like, you know, tell me, make sure you always put your tag or whatever
cool.
your social medias are, say that.
Yeah.
But where you know, what you do and your name, you know.
Well, I'm Myles T, man.
Yeah.
Myles T. Some of y'all know me as Myles Satterfield. Some of y'all know me as Myles T, depending on what time you met me at, but same guy. Grew up in Charleston, West Virginia. I went to Horseman Middle School. I went to South Charleston High School.
Shout it
So
out.
he's from the city for real.
I
Okay.
went to South Charleston High School. I graduated from Marshall University.
MU.
Yep,
You an
shout out to
alumni.
Marshall.
Shout out to them. I'm right there. You know what I'm saying? I'll be done this
You gonna be
summer.
done?
We
I'll be
got
done
one.
this summer.
We got
Yeah.
one.
What you studying?
Psychology.
Psychology.
Yes,
That's
sir.
what's up.
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
I studied digital forensics and information assurance. So
Okay,
shout out to my
okay.
people down there. I'm
Fire.
still tapped in with y'all. Can't wait to come back and start doing something there. I'm still heavily tapped into the tech game as well. So, you know, yeah, I do tech too. So like, you know, one of my things was also like, all right, you don't got to just make it in hoop. You don't got to just make it in production. You can, some people, you might have to go to school. You might have to, do your own thing. So yeah, I graduated and that's how I've been able to even do the music thing, is because I went to school and got a degree and I got a job that allowed me to, one, fund different things that I wanted to do, but also work remotely when I needed to and do different things. Like if I didn't have that background and like, that safety net or lifeline, whatever you
that
call
floor,
it.
you set your floor high.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I wouldn't be able to do it because, and it helps with the music too, because, music, especially producing, is hard because you get the checks. Like, when are they coming? You don't really know when you're gonna get paid. So I could lean on my job when I had to not have to get in those situations, because when your money is funny, then you got to kind of get in some of those situations. Like, it can mess up your relationships because now you thinking different because you like, are they messing with my money? Like, what's going on? But thankfully I never had to fall into that just because I did that. So there's two things that I want to get out of that. Is one, like, you don't got to just you can go to school and you can get, a good job and have a decent life if you got to, if that's the route you want to go. And then second, just because you're trying to do something creative or trying to explore, you don't got to quit your job. Like, keep working. Like, don't, people say you can, and I mean, put your all into it, but like, make sure you're straight as well if you need to, take care of yourself. But
is that possible, Myles, though? Can you literally say you all in if really you got a day job?
I think it's the vision, right? It's the goal. It's the steps. It's the steps there, right? You just got to make that your goal. You feel me? Like, are you all in? I mean, you got to be, but like, you can't kill yourself, like, because then you ain't gonna be able to get there, right? So it's two parts. Like, if you were saying, okay, I'm gonna take this job so I can live and so I can fund what I got to do, then yeah, I would consider yourself all in. But if you kind of like I don't know, like, yeah, I'm working a job, but now this, and you making excuses. Like, if you making excuses saying, oh, because I got a job, I can't do whatever. Like, like, I done had nights where I just stayed up 2-3 days, like, just because I was like, I mean, I'm gonna have to go to work the next day, but this studio session gonna be here till 4 or 5 in the morning, and I'm gonna just go to work. So to your point, it's like, to me, that's all in. Like,
right.
That's
and I just ask because
Yeah.
some people will be like, if you can't be all in on something, then why do it? Or because I still love the hell out of that.
Yeah,
You hear what I'm saying? That's my passion.
Right.
But I got to be realistic at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And if you out here still, and it's just basically you, I don't know your family set up, but if you ain't got a full family yet, then you leave yourself that option, that choice. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, when you start adding kids or wife or anything like that to the equation, it's gonna force you. You know what I mean? Now we got to get production. I can't wait. I can't sometimes, and I just wanted to highlight that because some people think it's always got to be all in. You can be all in on two things if you're serious enough, if you legit, you know what I mean?
And that gets me to my next question. Like, what was your biggest obstacle, like, as being a producer? You know what I mean? Because, being a producer, you're chasing your dream. You know what I mean? You see the bigger picture. You know what I mean? So it's like, what was your biggest, obstacle going through it, whether it's family, friends, you know what I mean? Anything?
All of that was cool. Like I said, I've been making beats since I was a kid. Like, my pops gave me all his records. I lived behind a record store budget when it was in Canal City. My mom had a crib over there, and then my pops bought me some turntables. So like, everybody, friends and family, they knew like I was dabbling and messing around. And even like some of the local artists, like I had, I guess, a studio when we was, kids or whatever, people would come through. A lot of them people still rapping and doing stuff today. So friends and family, easy, like, always supported. Plus, like I said, I was going to school and stuff too. So like, as long as you're doing what you're supposed to do, don't nobody really care. They might be like, oh yeah, he'd make beats, like whatever. I don't know if anybody ever thought I would actually do something fully with it. But I think the biggest obstacle, I guess, if I had one, I mean, man, music is hard, bro. Like, how do you tell somebody how to go be a producer, to how to be an artist, or how to get a major label placement? Like, you can Google it and you can look up and they're gonna tell you to do all this stuff, but like, in reality, it's tough. So like, the biggest obstacle, I think, for me is like getting out of our own way as creatives. I think that's everyone's biggest obstacle. Like, overthinking it to the point to where it's like I can't even produce or showcase my art.
It's paralyzing.
Yeah. So getting over that, and then just on some actual producer stuff, like when it came to playing beats or sending out beats, accepting that not everybody is gonna gravitate towards what you think they might, right? Like, music is subjective. So something I like, you might not like. Something I don't like, you might actually like. So it can kind of be weird when you're a producer and you're either in the studio or you're sending out beats. You kind of gotta not take things personal in a way, and learning that, which can be hard because if this is your art, this is your craft, then you're gonna have connection to it. But removing that is gonna take you a lot further, because if you get in your own way, then you're gonna get in your own head, then you're not gonna be able to work. Because there's been times where you in the studio, people on their phone, they not listening, you playing the beats, and it's like, dang, you ain't even like, you ain't tapped in, like. And it's been times when, you know, some of my people's is playing beats, they banging, they hard. But then I get up there, play some of my beats, and they ain't hitting. So then it's like, kind of sting a little bit. But learning how to get through that, I think, you know, it's an obstacle, but that's how you build character. That's how you get to where you need to be. So
tell me this though. I was just thinking about it as we sat here. It get to a point, man. I've been down here 10 years. I'm from Xenia, Ohio, right by Dayton, originally. So I've been down here for about 10 years. And one thing that I quickly figured out, there is a mentality, a quicksand of sorts here that doesn't allow West Virginia people a lot of times to get outside their box and go chase something. And when people think about it, he is in LA, right? Los Angeles, California. I first thing I gotta highlight and give you praise for again, you went and got a degree and stuff. So people might think it's far-fetched, bro. I'm a college educated and I do something that really applies right now. All that digital stuff you can't miss. So I can go there and have a job easy. That's not the it's the kahunas it take to get out there, bro, because you're from West Virginia, bro. When you're in LA, you're brushing arms with famous people all day. So not only did you go this far, but at the same time, you still gotta have that confidence to be like, hey, bro, Chris Brown, you know, anybody. If you got the chance at the bar, hey, bro, I ain't trying to be that dude. I got some hot shit for you. You hear me? I heard you want it when I talk about that. Just coming outside of jumping outside the box, bro, because that's not West Virginia to Ohio. That's not West Virginia to Kentucky. That's West Virginia to you feel me? A mecca of sorts for all the arts, and you know.
And he being humble, but we gonna get into all that. He's being humble right now.
Because
Myles is being humble. He's being humble. You know what I mean? We could get into that. You know what I mean?
But he can't. He told y'all he from Horseman.
You feel me?
South Charleston. But listen to where he at though.
He being real humble. 19 million streams. Produced song via Big Sean.
You feel me?
You know what I'm saying?
This stuff don't happen by mistake.
He being humble right now. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, so. That's a good question too. And all right, I'll tell you my perspective on it, at least my story, because it's kind of, it might be different for most people. But first off, I got to LA on accident. I didn't go to LA intentionally, so to speak, right? So I went to LA during COVID because everybody was working from home. Like I said, I got a cybersecurity degree, so I was working in DC, and then they was like, okay, we all going working from home. So I'm like, all right, I was back here. Because I lived out there and then I came back here. So I was chilling, and you know, COVID is happening. I'm with the fam. We all was in the crib. So I'm like, well, what's next? Like, you know, and then don't look like the world opening back up. And I was like, I guess I'm gonna go back to DC, keep doing that thing. I'm still making beats though. Like, you know, I've always made beats, had website, like, you know, YouTube, doing that whole thing. But so long story short, my mom and her boyfriend at the time was out in California doing some work. They was like, yeah, we're gonna be here for a couple of months, or for like, we got an open room if you want to come. Like, cool. Like, yeah, LA, I'm here. Like, ain't nothing going on right now. Everything's shut down. I go chill in the sun. I'm gonna tell you how it gets to your question. But so long story short, me and little bro got in the car, drove over there, road trip. Never thought I would do that. That was fun. And when I got there, we lived in like this compound thing, like a duplex here, courtyard kind of in the middle. And everybody kind of knew each other, and all of my homies was people who did music or people who did creatives. Matt Nelson, who runs this We Rate Dogs account, who went to G-Dub. It's a big account, millions of followers on there.
Shout out to bro.
They was out there, and that's who my mom's boyfriend was working with, and they had some connections to, like, you know, some independent artists, and my homies that produce all of Bia's stuff was living in there as well. So to your point, I got blessed with kind of just falling into like a circle of creatives in a way. But to your point, what I think you got to do when you get out into these big cities is, yes, you got to be willing to have those conversations, but you also got to find like who you work with well, because I think, you know, you hear these horror stories of people who say they go to these big cities, you go to LA, everything is fake. I've got nothing but love.
Type
And
shit.
I got nothing but love.
My experience is different.
My
You hear me?
experience is different. I got nothing but love. But I think that that's one, like, and it can be confusing because it's like, okay, you get out there, you feel so ready to go. It's like, what I'm gonna do? Like, not to say you're gonna do just anything, but it's like you trying, like you know, you moving hands, and sometimes you're gonna run into stuff you don't need to be in, or people that just don't really gel with you because you just trying to do it, right? So you got to do that, put yourself out there, and you can't take it personally if it don't go well. But I think a way that you can kind of get around that is like when you do find people that you aligned with, or that you like-minded with, or that you know kind of got the same energy towards, and honestly make friends with. Like a lot of my friends out here, I didn't even tell them I made beats when I was out there for a long time. Like, I mean, they knew because I knew what I was talking about, but they didn't know I was really making beats for real. Like, and you know, but we was friends.
Yeah.
So that makes it a lot easier too when you build actual real relationships and connections with, whether it be the artists, the managers, the engineers, like whoever it might be. So, you know, you take it slow too sometimes. Like I took it slow when I was out there as well, which I think made it a lot easier to build those relationships first, so that way, if I did see somebody that was, you know, potentially, you know, famous, or their engineer or their manager, somebody could vouch for me, or maybe we had a mutual in contact and we could kind of relate to the same thing. So, you know, it's little things you can do, but I think it really kind of just boils down to like trying to find a way to build solid relationships. And that's the same way that you know, when you're a kid, like who do you vibe with? Like, why does somebody become your best friend or your friend? Like there's something there that y'all kind of relate on. It's kind of the same with one, making friends, but also in music. Like when you make music, the best music comes from when y'all got some type of connection or relationship rather than just random. It's hard for me to just go make beats for anybody, or even just like, you know, kind of get in the studio. Like we can do it and you know, it can be fun, but it just might not be there sometimes.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
you know,
Chemistry is that. Yeah.
Yep. Chemistry.
Nah, definitely chemistry is that. But coming back from LA and having this Dear West Virginia, this movement, this movement it's amazing. You know what I mean? It's huge. People I know, my brother even hopped on it, you know what I mean? So I've seen it like come full circle, and it's like, how does that feel? You know what I
that's
mean?
the best thing ever, man. This feels better than any major label placement that I got. I don't know if that might pick up on there. But how does it feel? It feel great, bro. Cause like I'm a big West Virginia dude. Like I said, my whole family here. I always represent West Virginia. I told y'all in the beginning, I feel like because I'm from West Virginia, I kind of got an advantage in a way. So I stay repping West Virginia. Like even when I'm out there, I love when I put my WV hat on, because people be like, "What hat is that?" Or some people be like, "Oh, I know what hat is that. What are you doing out here?"
Yeah.
So I got a big thing for that. And like I said, I grew up a fan of local artists and hip hop and different things like that. So when I would see somebody performing or hear somebody locally on the radio, I would, as a little kid, I'm like, that's cool. Like, how do you do that? So I always, you know, want to work with local artists and try to do that. Sometimes it's hard because, like I said, again, I got a certain type of beats. It might not be for what, you know, you do or what you like. And it's, you know, it's hard getting beats in general. So the fact that I don't know how many people now, maybe 100 or something, people on one beat. Yeah. Come on, that's fire. And I'm bringing out legends. Like I'm bringing out people we're bringing out legends that have hopped on some of these beats. And, you know, hopefully some people can continue to capitalize off the momentum. But I mean, it feels dope, man. Like
those are all your beats?
All I could ask for.
Those are your beats?
Yeah, the beats. The Myles, where you feel me? Hey, that's
West Virginia
raw.
beat. Yeah,
that's raw.
That's
that
mine.
beat's raw. That beat is raw.
Yeah, so I mean, it feels dope, and I never thought, honestly, I thought a couple people would do it. You feel me? Like when Leisha, because it started with Leisha Lee and Black by God. Black by God is my mom's locally Black-owned like newspaper media outlet. She probably actually would want to tap in with y'all.
Can I say something real quick? I appreciate everything you're doing, man.
It's
amazing.
Hey,
it's beautiful. The movement, everything y'all.
Somebody got to do it.
It is amazing. So thank you.
Yeah,
very necessary.
That is important. As I get older, I start to understand how important that is, because it's like if somebody don't document and tell these stories, about people from this region, nobody will, bro. Nobody will. So that's dope that she got that going on. But when they called me and said they wanted to do the challenge, I was like, yeah, for sure, okay. But then it's like, well, what does this mean though? Like, how am I? What kind of beat y'all want? Like, what are we gonna do? So I thought a couple people would hop on it, like, I got some usual suspects in my head, people who always in the music scene kind of tapped in. And then I thought of a couple people I knew I could personally ask to do it to like kind of just, make sure we had some participation and it could be cool. And, I just thought it would be a thing, right? Like, just like a small thing, but then it just started to go. Like, it just started to roll.
Rapid fire.
Yeah, it's going crazy right now.
Today's
the last day. Phone going crazy right now, and I think Leisha's phone is even going crazier. So, it's fun though. Everybody having fun.
I seen the analytics on it. It was like a week or something. You said, I think you posted something about it. It was like 1 million or something.
We hit a mill.
I was like, that's amazing. That's great.
And don't get me wrong, I only said that because I've heard a few different, beats or you know what I mean. So I'm like, I didn't know if all of them was you or just the main one, obviously.
Hey man, we let people get creative as well, and people have put live instrumentation over it. People have flipped it. People have replayed it, sampled it, done different things. Like, we kind of left it open for interpretation. And as a creative, as a producer, as someone who samples all of those stuff, I like to see that. So I think that's cool, man. It's going great. Shout out to everybody participating, and thank you all for doing that, because it's like, this is one of the most important things, I think, to me. Just being able to connect with you all, come back home, and be able to do something like this. So I feel good about it.
No, this is definitely good for the state, you know what I'm saying? Especially good for the city.
Yeah.
I mean, seeing local rappers come back out, you know what I mean? Like you said, I seen some people come out. I didn't even know rap personally. I didn't even know rap. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm like, yo, he raps. Like, I didn't know that. So it's like seeing stuff like that, and then seeing people get the love, from it, you know what I mean? From platforms like you said, Leisha Lee, her, resharing and being a part of that too, and everyone, sharing their light and shining on other people. That's amazing.
With this being said, we definitely got to get to it. Listen, I tell these guys, and they, try to basically tell me like, hey, it's more to that or more to it than that. I tell them, if there's an artist that I back, being from Ohio, the only one that I say I'll put some money behind, and rightfully so, he's been out here for years, is TC. Who do you feel like is and get me hip to some dudes who maybe inspired you early on or something, because I'm like I said, I'm not from here. I've just heard that, and from the rap scene, the rap culture down here, I'm like, nah, that'll sell somewhere else. That's my, I don't ever want to make it seem like he can't nobody be as good, but it's just like, I know that's marketable. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's got a good sound.
Yeah. So you're asking like who in the music scene I think is marketable, or who needs to be doing more, like
who's maybe somebody that you think is over it right now, and then like I said, tell me some of them dudes that I wouldn't know because I haven't been here, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Maybe from your teens or whenever you really start tapping in, you like, nah, bro was spitting it way back when, because like I said, I'm just getting hip, and all I know is this,
man, it's so many though, like it's so many, and like, I don't want to
disrespect.
I don't want to disrespect nobody, because I ain't never been one of them guys to make no list or do nothing about nothing, like, or exclude anybody. So I'll throw a couple names out there, but this is definitely not anybody. This is just everybody that's coming off top. You already mentioned TC. Yeah. TC is hard. Y'all probably know Billy Hoyle. Cam went crazy on his Dear West Virginia. He went bananas on his, and he's overly talented. Huntington artists, there's so many Huntington artists that kind of popped out. Like, I think Huntington might have had the most submissions, I think, from a city, for real. But Huntington has always had like a dope music scene. Shout out to I just did Shank and Doc's podcast last night, and they've been in the music scene for a long time. Shout out to SG, City Phil, Mike T, all them dudes from up in Huntington, from Charleston. I mean, I had a big Charleston meetup. Nene was there. TC, shout out my homie TC, Faye. Shout out to my homie Luke White and Jordan, all the people who do bands and live instrumentation. Doobie popped out. Doobie is super dope. I just learned about somebody from Clarksburg. it's a lot of talent up north. It's tons of talent up north, and there's platinum producers and engineers that are out in LA that are from Morgantown and Clarksburg, West Virginia. That's just chilling. That's just in the cut. They don't really got no Instagram or nothing, but they got real records, real placement, bigger than me. I'd be like, they be in real big studios. Like I'm still kind of trying to get around and move around, but they be doing all of that. But
that's fine.
I think everybody can make it, man. It's too much talent, and that's what this is showing, and that's why I'm saying like, okay, we doing this challenge, right? Or we doing like this movement or whatever, right? Cool. Let's not let it be for a week. Like y'all see what can happen, and y'all see what we can do, and y'all see the numbers, and like, you know, when you're talking about taking it to the next level, or when you want to do partnerships, or when you want to go to the labels, or when you want to go to the distribution companies, you got to be able to show them a resume or a portfolio of different things.
Facts.
Right? Not only creative and music, you can only be good, but you also got to find a way to make it marketable, and present it and package it in a way. So what I think needs to happen, especially after this, kind of answering your question even more, is like we just got to continue to keep going as far as like creating this buzz, because y'all see how much buzz we can just create on our own. This is just internally. We haven't opened this up to the world or anything really. This is just us, right? Yeah. So I got a plan on June 20th. I want everybody to drop on June 20th. Y'all too, like drop something, whether it be related to music or whatever, just so that we can all just be reposting and sharing and commenting and just going crazy. Cause like if you go on Facebook or whatever, like it's going crazy. Like we did millions or whatever we do. Like imagine if we put everybody in there with all different topics versus just one. Like who knows how many numbers we could do. We could probably get to 5 million or something. Just impressive, just here. You know, and then people gonna start looking and be like, man, they got a real buzz down there. Go do the podcast, go do the thing, go perform at the live venues, like link up, do collaborations. There's no reason to stop. And we do it easy. Y'all see how effortlessly we do it. We gave y'all a week, 2 weeks to do something, and y'all done blew it out the water. People shooting videos, people going to the studio, some people just calling in, rapping stuff that's hard. So like, you know,
I think that's the best part.
It's a ton of artists out there, man. And if you don't know all of the local artists or the artists from the V, please go tap into these people. All of them phenomenal. I named a few. I can't name everybody. I wish I could, and I would. But you know, just shout out to everybody that's doing it, man. It's a lot of people that I think, you know, could be on the platform.
And listen, I want you to make this promise, bro, because what happens is, I definitely love how y'all are spreading it out and saying we want to just get everybody's wheels churning. One of my favorite lines that Drake ever spit, I forget what song it was, but he said, "These days, fame is disconnected from excellence." That is a pandemic right now. They letting anybody be famous. Right. Myles. They letting anybody, you know what I mean? So I hate that we get to a time, you know, I was just watching the Michael Jackson movie, shouts out to MJ and them. But back then you used to be able to be that guy for real. You see what I'm saying? Even if Kai Cenat is that guy right now, well, Ben the Don is over here doing the thing too. It's so much because we're not putting excellence to it. We're not really putting standards to it. And I say all that to say, I want them to be able to put a certain standard to it so that it's nothing for them to reach out to Myles and be like, man, can we work, brother? Because they need you. You don't need them. But I want you to be able to, hey, y'all don't come to me with no goofiness. Still respect my craft. I mean, I got some stuff. I'm humble still, but don't bring me like too some humble. Billy Bob, you know. You're too humble. You see what I'm saying? But I want you to make sure you put a governor on it, bro, because I want them to be able to reach to you, feel me? Not just do something, hey, this is how you make motion. You got to network with dudes like this. Even if he don't help you, he going to put you to somebody, you know what I mean? Hey, these are some dudes, they more your swag. I don't really do that, you know what I mean? And before you even say anything on that, I wanted to know too, are you a producer? So which part do you enjoy more, the beat making or producing, literally?
Producing.
You do?
Yeah, producing. So to your point, especially on that, like first off, I definitely need y'all. I need everybody like to do this. Like if I didn't have y'all, I wouldn't be able to like really do this. The only reason I wanted to get a major label placement when I got to LA is because I was like, maybe somebody from back home will think that it's cool. And they'll be like, oh, somebody got a major label placement from where I'm from. That's the only reason why I wanted to do it, right? Like I had my job, I had everything going on. I didn't have to go and do that. I was straight. But I was like, one, I love it. This is a passion for me. I want to try it. But then also I'm like, if I can do this, maybe it'll inspire somebody and maybe we can take it to the next level some kind of way. So that's what really keeps me motivated. And that's why this is more fun to me than just going and working on a major label placement, because now I can connect with y'all. We can kind of do stuff. We can get creative. We can brainstorm, all of those things. So yeah, come to me with whatever it is that you might need or need help with. And like you said, if I can't help you, I'm gonna find somebody who will, because I like being creative. I like being a part of the creative process, right? Like, I don't make every type of beat. Like, I got a certain type of beat that I can make. If I think somebody else can make a better beat than you, I'm gonna send you to my homie.
Yeah.
If I think somebody else can lay a better bass line on this than me, I'm gonna go get my homie to play bass on this. I'm gonna go get my homie to do the drums on this. Like, one, we gotta make the best product. Two, I like to really produce everything from also the music, the creative, getting your image together, whatever it might be, different things like that. But the only thing I need, like, even if it's not up to a certain standard or quality, everybody got to start somewhere. The only thing I need from people, or that I ask for people, is, man, just, help yourself. Like, keep going. Like, be ready, be willing to reach out. Don't let nobody stop you. Like, if I don't answer the phone, hit me again.
Consistency.
If that studio session get booked, try to write another verse or something, even when you're at the crib. Like, always just kind of be moving forward. Like, don't let no obstacles kind of get in your way. If you do that, everything is going to come for you, because that's what life does. It's going to test you. And you got to kind of pass some of those tests, right? So that's really all it takes, man. And now, like I'm saying, I'm willing to work with anybody if I can. Whether that be directly, whether it be indirectly, partnering with my homies, listening to your stuff, whatever I got to do. Like, that's what it's about, I think. So.
And I just want to say that because this could hit the streets and Myles be like, oh, no, let me. Be logical now. You know what I mean? Don't, come on now. You know what I mean? Don't do him dirty. If you know you ain't, look out. And that's the biggest thing I can tell people. Self-awareness, Myles. That's going to help you so much. You can't be, you ain't going to be shit as a producer if you out there in LA and you don't know when the beat is whack. You got to be able to listen to it back. Like, I know I just put a day into that, but that's not it.
Yeah, you got to be able to.
And then you got to know when I got to hit, you just ain't the one for it. I'm going to keep pushing this, though. You know what I mean? Because I know this beat is intoxicating. You're just not the one for it. Don't tell me,
But y'all's dreams. He said, don't be delusional.
No, I'm just saying, listen, just don't, listen, there's levels, and we gotta understand, and like I always use my favorite line is, everybody is to be used, no one's to be misused, right, Myles? So don't misuse this man because he's making himself approachable. He's humble, like we say, and he don't gotta be. I wish y'all could, you get around him as a vibe, it's genuine. You can feel it. Like, he's not trying to be, you know what I mean, any bigger than the programmer. Hey, I'm just like y'all, bro. I do something, different, for a job. But other than that, I'm just, man, trying to make it out here, and see another man eat. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, bro, hey, y'all just make sure y'all ain't no half-stepping when you come to him. Make sure you got at least, well, like you say, 3-4 songs out there. Don't have him going back to 2024 to see your last song. It's 2026, bro. You ain't even been, you know what I mean, moving. Now, it's, he's got his own set. I'm just saying, don't expect something crazy and you ain't really taking it serious, But I asked you that beat making and producing because I know that beat making is touch and go. You say, hey, I'll push you that beat, I'm gone. Cut that check. You hear me? That producing, it takes you get a lot more involved. You know what I mean? You're tired.
I'm not good at doing that. Like, sometimes the labels or sometimes the people or, certain artists would be like, all right, I want a Lil Baby type beat or something, for example, right? And I was actually in the studio with a producer. I can't remember who it was, but I seen dude crank out 30 beats. It was crazy. He booked I think one of the labels booked out one of the studios. He went in there, he ordered a couple pizzas, and he just cranked out 30 beats, same type of beat, whatever type of beat that category was, cranked it out. And then he was done. And I think probably landed a couple placements right there, right? But that's a beat maker to me. Like, you just making the beat. That's cool. That's dope. I've done it. We've all done it before, right? And I can do it sometimes if it's a certain type. But sometimes that's what it takes. Like, all right, let me whip this up. I got homies that's real good at it. Because sometimes the artist knows exactly what they need. They be like, I need this. Because it might be for a specific reason. They might be trying to take that song and go do something with it. Whether it be for the label or maybe they want to get it in a commercial or a movie. Who knows, right?
Exactly.
Some of this is still work for hire contract type of work where they know exactly what they need. And you might just have to make a beat. But the producing part, like, that's what's really fun, because that's when you could kind of really like help an artist go from whatever they might have in their idea or their vision that they're trying to do, and like, get it somewhere else, and kind of really like craft that whole thing. So artists and producers kind of need each other, right? And if you're a producer, you got to know how to bring the best out of an artist. for example, like, yeah, you got to know how to bring the best out of an artist. And some producers are the really top-notch producers are really good at doing that. And usually that starts with going back to what I said. You got to have some type of connection. You got to be able to get that artist to get comfortable, open up with you, and bring the best out of their ideas. And then, you know, make sure that it's good. And then you also got to understand how to give feedback. Yeah. And to also kind of what you were saying, you got to understand how to receive feedback. Artists, creators who can receive feedback constructively and kind of work to get the best idea, you're gonna be able to go farther, right? Yeah. Like just because somebody says, oh, maybe this don't sound, maybe it needs to sound a certain type of way, or maybe we need to do this, like, that don't mean they don't like it, or that don't mean it suck.
Exactly.
Maybe that's just what they think. And you can make the decision on if you want to listen to them or not, right? Like I got some people I really listen to all the time if they tell me something. I got some people where it's like, I don't know if I want to listen to that, right?
Yeah,
like,
right.
But still listen, but it's like maybe I don't implement it because in my head, maybe I want to just try something else or do a different vision. I could be wrong.
Right.
They could be right. They could be right. I could be wrong. Who knows? Like
the
I could
opinion
be right,
ain't worth
wrong,
a quarter.
Right?
You say.
So who knows? It just, you know, yeah, it's all subjective at the end of the day. It kind of just matters. Like, you know, I just do it for the love anyway, man. So that's when it comes producing, beat making. I just do it for the love. Like that's what it's about.
Who's that one artist that you've been in the studio with and you're like, they're special?
Man, I've seen a lot of talented artists. I was in a studio session with, there's a guy named Malik Youssef, who is on pretty much all of Kanye's albums. He grew up in Chicago. He wrote a couple Beyonce records. And I just randomly ended up in the studio. My homie owned the studio, and I was just kind of there, and he came in, and I didn't do nothing. I was just fortunate he, you know, let us chill in there. My homie was engineering. But that was seeing him kind of work because he's a writer as well. Like he's not necessarily a main artist on certain things. He's a writer. So seeing his creative process was really like, oh, this is interesting. This is how a song can turn into a Beyonce record or end up on the Kanye album. That was like a real interesting perspective because I've been in the lab with rappers who nice at rapping, can get in there and, you know, cut up on a verse. I've seen that. But like kind of seeing it on that different side was very, very interesting. Like that was a different experience, something I didn't think that, you know, I just never had that experience or I didn't really kind of know about. So yeah, that was dope. Kind of seeing that, you know, I'll probably say him. And then, you know, I don't go to the studio with a lot of artists, at least in LA. I'll go around. Sometimes studio sessions it depends on the type of studio session it is, right? Like you could get in there and the artist might not even record. And it's like, we just kind of waste the studio time, what we doing. Right. You can get in there and like, you know, maybe they already got their beat, so they find one beat and then they kind of run with that for the session or, you know, whatever. So it kind of just depends. But yeah, as far as like that session, like that was the most interesting session I think I ever seen or kind of been in. Dude, Malik Youssef, one of Kanye's homies. Who, you know, he's on, check his credits if you want to look him up. He got a lot.
Nah, shout out to him. I'm definitely going. I'm gonna look him up for sure. Yeah. I heard Kanye. Hey. Yeah. That's one of the greatest, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's definitely, I mean, when it comes to the production, man, like all other stuff aside, like, yeah, that's one of the greatest. And kind of to the point on the producing, like, if you listen to anybody's features or anything with the man, that's usually their best feature. That's usually their best work. Like, because everybody, when they say, okay, if he calling, I ain't gonna play around.
Yeah.
Like if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna make sure I really do this. Like, you know, go listen to some of them verses. Even on that Donda album that had a bunch of people on it, go listen to some of them features. Like everybody was giving it they all, like as much as they could.
No,
but
facts.
He knows how to create that environment and kind of bring that out of people. It's ways that you kind of do that. We don't get to see a lot of that, but being a producer, it's hard to do. But some people real special at it.
And how old are you, bro?
30.
I'm just a little bit older than you. So at this point, is it easy for you to see, or is it still kind of like, damn, how are they able to do that? When you see somebody like Drake or even Kanye, where they're well into their prime, you know what I mean, 40 and 50, and they're still able to be relevant though, Myles.
Yeah.
Does that seem like, damn, or can it easily be done when you're out in LA? Like, is it easy to stay in the loop, or is that hella intentional and it is something to be respected? Like, cause they still relevant as ever. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of answers to this question. Like one, you got to be good at the end of the day. It's not easy to do. Not everybody can do it. that's why people phase out. There's a reason why these individuals do not phase out. But also, you got to understand how you get to that point, right? In terms of the music business, right? Like you have to, the labels and all of this stuff, like the artist or the product, so to speak, right? They're the product. They're the Jordans of whatever, right? And when you got a Jordan, you're gonna do whatever you got to do. If this is the product, this is the shoe, we're gonna take it to where it needs to be.
Sell it.
Now, the product got to be good, all of that as well, but not everybody is gonna be that big of an artist. Even if they're not talented, it's probably some people that's just as talented, if not more, than, you know, some of the biggest artists. So that's why, even kind of like what you were saying, like with, you know, we got so much famous people now and we got all these different lanes. Like if you're an artist, like you can change your perspective and just be like, you don't have to be a Drake. Like I got a homie that has, I think he has like 100,000 Spotify listeners and, you know, whatever amount of people who, but every time he drops an album, people is going to go buy all his stuff. People is going to reach out and say thank you. People got his lyrics tattooed on them. And this is my homie. This is like somebody that I just know. Like that's a dude. And it's honestly weird when people will be like, man, thank you so much. I love this song. I got it tatted on me. I'm like, dang, that's crazy. Or it's hanging up in their first house. I just bought my first house. This is the lyrics that, you know, I read when I leave out the door. I'm like, that's wild. So it's like, what's more important, like being the biggest artist or, you know, still being able to be an artist, a creative, and have that influence on people's life. But to answer your original question, like, nah, there's definitely a reason why those dudes don't phase out, right? It's a combination of talent. You got to be ill. Like, you got to be nice. You got to have a team around you that can keep kind of pushing you as well. And you gotta, like, navigate and make sure that you still some people want. Because I mean, business is business. It's cutthroat at the end of the day. Like, you open a newspaper up, especially in the tech world, just laid off 50,000 people, however many thousand people, just because it's business. Like, if numbers ain't numbers, it's out of there. And that's when you in that music business and that label system and all of that, you got to deliver. And, those dudes deliver. They find a way to deliver. So that's what it's about. So, yeah, it definitely should be respected because they find a way to deliver for sure. Yeah. Whether we like it or not.
Yeah. Facts. This is my last question before we end this off, man. It's been amazing having you on here. Appreciate you doing everything you've been doing, man. It's been amazing. But if money wasn't a thing, what's something you'd bring to West Virginia? If money wasn't a thing, if you could do anything, bring
big airport.
Big airport.
A big international airport.
Okay. Yeah,
because think about it. That's if it's easy to get here. If it was easy to get here in terms of like there's no direct flight from LA, but what if it was?
Yeah.
Think about who would be flying in and out of here now, whether it be to get somewhere else or just to come here. Because then we could have, people, then we could have like, some of these venues, popping with bigger artists because it's easier to get to and it's more of a stop. So on the business side, like, or the economic side, I think I would bring probably like a big airport. If we had like a big airport here, it's easy to get in and out. And then, that's going to make businesses and other people want to kind of post up here because, we already got land and other things like that. And I got this idea from my CEO when I was, I worked for a company a couple years ago. It was a startup. He had started and sold a couple companies. And I was like, yo, I'm from West Virginia, man. Like, what, like, why, like, because it was a remote company. I'm like, why wouldn't the company just go start something out there? It's cheaper or whatever. He was like, it's probably the airport. Like, it's hard to get, like, kind of there.
Damn,
like, in DC, and I thought about it, and I was like, you kind of right. Like, it's not a whole lot of flights. And then when you look at, like, a Charlotte or something like that, it's flights everywhere. You can kind of get, anywhere. So think about that from an economic standpoint.
And that's crazy said because I hear that from every guest that flies in. They're always like, your airport's tiny.
Right.
Or I had to go to Charlotte and then fly from Charlotte to here. So I hear that. That's
if I had no money, we had all that, I'll bring that. But man, hopefully one day I can build like, pretty official studio or something. I think that would be dope. When I was a kid, there were studios over at the Roosevelt Center. I talk about this hip hop boot camp I went to all of the time when I was younger that really influenced me and some of the other people growing up when I was a kid. So stuff like that.
That was here?
Community. Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
Damn, I would have never, being from Ohio, I would never think you see that here. Hip hop boot camp. Listen,
they know he be shitting on our state because he from Ohio. Anything Ohio.
Listen,
he love Ohio. You feel me? We from West Virginia. I'm proud to be from West Virginia. You hear me?
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. We let him in West Virginia.
This is a nice.
Get him out of here.
I appreciate you all.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man, pulling up. You got anything you want to say? Any advice you got to give the aspiring producers, anyone that wants to get in your field of work? Like,
Yeah. Look, first off, June 20th, every single person in WV needs to drop something, whether you're a producer, a rapper, or artist, or creative. Like, everybody, let's drop something and let's try to support each other. Let's just see what happens. Like, what's it going to take to put out one song or one clip or one podcast or one something? And what's it going to take to just tweet or reshare or repost on the gram or Facebook or comment or, or no, I ain't gonna say that. Some people be going crazy in the comments, but just interact. I'll say that. However you choose to interact, interact. You feel me? June 20th, West Virginia Day. Everybody in West Virginia drop something creative. Like, I think it makes sense. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. But let's try to do that. And then, any young producers or whatever, man, like I said, get out your own way. If you want some technical ways that you can, like, kind of get better, produce at your game, like, recreate the beats that you like. Like, if you got beats that you really like and you listen to, sit down and recreate them. Try to do it without the tutorials or something first, but it's tutorials and stuff out there that you can use now. Like, pick your favorite songs, your favorite producers, redo what they did. Like, you feel me? That's what Kobe did to Jordan.
Facts.
And then, do the same with the production, man. So, man, let's just keep going. Show positive, stay love.
And before, because I would have been mad if I ain't asked you this.
Yeah.
Is there... Tell us, because we'll never know. Have you at least been around dudes, or even yourself, have you seen a check yet to where it's like, shit, that tech world might be, hey, we might just be all in, or I ain't got to work for a few months. Do we get to that point for real, or is it still got to be consistent work? Or have you seen some dudes really make that one, and it's like, bruh, good for the summer?
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen for sure.
You see his eyes?
Yeah.
Real. The numbers are real. I've seen it happen before. To where it's like, oh, man, you just hit. Yeah. But it also at the same time, you got to think, it's like, all right, you just hit now. But is that going to be consistent, or is that just, are you good for two, 3 years?
Yeah.
Right? Because you could sign, you could get a deal, let's say it's $500,000 or something like that, right? Yeah. That's nice. But you got to figure out what you're going to do with that money.
Yeah.
Does that mean, and depending on the deal, like, that might be all you get for the term.
Exactly.
That might be like $500,000, 6 years.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah. That's $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
But that's the same as, a salary job.
Right, you're right.
But it could be better, right? So you got to kind of really set yourself up. So I haven't got to that point yet. Hopefully I do, but I'm trying to be strategic with feeling, and you got to have a credible catalog that I'm still building.
Right.
Feel me? My first major label placement was last year, maybe 2 years now. You feel me? So I'm still building before I can probably get to that point. Right. It takes a long time that I've seen in music to really make money. That's why people be so mad in the beginning of their careers, or be all this going on, and then eventually they might get straight, or people end up straight or super rich, older, because it's like that's how music works. You feel me? So, but I done seen some people. Some of my homies got real nice checks.
Exactly.
Real comfortable.
I just wanted to know, because I'm like, bro, listen, that's just it's like almost being at the casino and playing roulette. Like one of these numbers gonna hit. When I hit, I'm smacking y'all. You feel me? It's crazy, bro. But that's hella interesting and hella like, you feel me? I'm just happy that we able to lock in, get you on here, bro.
It's definitely been amazing. We don't support gambling. You feel me?
No. I'm just saying. You hear me? Listen,
we don't support gambling over here.
Thrilled when you get a hit. You're like, oh, I got one. Boy, you all over the city. Like, y'all gotta hear this. Man.
You feel me? Yeah. Shout out to my dog Myles for pulling up on us. It's been amazing. Shout out to Folklore Music Exchange. It's been amazing, man. Letting us, use the space, for this amazing interview. But make sure you like, subscribe, come back and fuck with us, man.
Tap in.
Yes, sir.
Long night. Fuck it, cause I'm alright. I don't fuck with niggas, I'm popping outside in all white. Tryna be the greatest, that shit I promise, that's all mine. Know that I've been coming for the top, I swear that's all mine.